the BushCaddy, which is produced just up the road from me. I'm in Ontario, Canada. I believe it's produced in Quebec.
That's right. It is produced in Quebec. The kit comes from Quebec. I decided to build a BushCaddy. It's an ELSA, which gives me the light sport category.
How did you get involved with BushCaddy initially?
BushCaddy initially, actually it was, I found it and did research on different planes I wanted to build, and I decided I wanted to build an all-metal airplane. So BushCaddy was the only one that was giving me that all-metal airplane that was working for the light sport at that time back in 2006.
Now, all-metal aircraft, you mean like rivet construction? Or?
This is all pulled rivets and driven rivets. The cabin itself is driven rivets, so it's a real strong cabin. The rest of the empennage is pulled rivets. There's over 13,000 pulled rivets in it and about 2,000 driven rivets.
Now, when it comes to you in kit form, then, how much of the work is already done for you?
The work, it comes in the metal that you need laid flat, and then the frame is all on the cabin is all cut and jigged, and it's been CC'd, so it's all ready to go together. It's pretty easy to put together. So the only thing I need to make for a jig was a flat board that held my first rib, or my first frame, at the right angle, and the rest went right together just like that. That was the only jig I had to make.
Now, did you deal directly with the factory on your first airplane then?
At first I was dealing with a guy that was looking at buying the company, but then I started dealing directly with the company because that didn't work out for him, so I worked with BushCaddy directly after that and had no problems at all.
Now, when you've got the kit delivered to you, how are the manuals, the instructions, so on and so forth for building the airplane?
The manuals originally were just a straight drawing of each section as you go and put together. They come out with a new manual that is excellent now compared to what we originally started with, but it's a very good detailed manual. Actually designed off of my log and another Don's log that's also on the website, and they put together a manual with color pictures, perfect detail. It really helped.
Now, how long would it take the average person to put something like this together?
This is the first airplane I ever built, the first time I ever opened up the plans. The general idea is about 900 hours to 1,200 hours roughly. I have 736 hours to build this plane myself. It's first time build.
Now, was there any special equipment or anything that you had to buy in order to finish off?
If you don't want real strong forearms, you would get a pneumatic rivet puller. Otherwise, use the old-fashioned rivet puller and you can get pretty strong Popeye arms.
Now, is there any, you mentioned jigging. Jigging is just basically for the fuselage to get the angle?
It was the first, yeah, to get the first angle on this first frame in the fuselage. Once that's there, the rest are all put off of that, and that's where it all comes off from there.
Now, what kind of facility would you need in order to complete something like this?
I built it out of my garage. I have a 20 by 36 garage. Half of it's woodworking, and the other half was for my airplane building. So it was pretty easy to build. Not a lot of room, just had to use a little bit of forethought. I built the wings first, then hung them in the overhead, then I built the rest of the plane on a table.
Now, control systems-wise, what kind of control are you using in it?
This is strictly a single stick in the center, and it's got a Y handle on top. So it was designed originally as a float plane. It's got the float attachments come with it. I use it for camera mounts right now, but for enter and exit, it was really easy because the control stick is off to your side, not in between your legs.
And the dual rudder pedals, so dual throttle?
Dual rudder. On mine, I built a single throttle, just the way I set it up for myself. But yeah, it's set up. The kit comes with dual throttles. And if you set up that way, there is a kit that you can have dual sticks if you wanted to, instead of having to off the side, because some people kind of think about how it's going to feel to control the plane from here. It was really easy transition to go from the center stick to that. There was no problem at all.
And the flaps on the airplane?
No flaps on this plane. The stall speed on this plane is 32 miles an hour. If I put flaps on it, I could stall it at 28.
Now, what are we powering this one with?
This is powered with the Jabiru 3300, the 120 horsepower.
That's a 6-cylinder model.
6-cylinder model. Burns about 5-6 gallons. I cruise, I'm about 4.5 to 5 at cruise.
And what kind of speed would you be cruising on this airplane?
105, 110 right in there on this plane.
And what kind of, I guess, distance could you go? How much fuel have you got on board?
The kit originally comes with 9-gallon tanks in the wing. I put in the 18-gallon optional wing kits, so I have 36 gallons. If I burn 6 gallons an hour, that's 6 hours at 100, so about 600 miles.
And we're talking about climb rate, cruise speed. What kind of climb rate do we have on it?
About 850 to 900.
And what kind of stall speed with and without flaps?
Stall speed because it doesn't have flaps is 32, but with flaps would be 28. Without is 32.
Now, what are you doing with this particular airplane here? Are you demonstrating the airplane? Or you got them for sale?
I've demonstrated them. I'm selling the kits for the company, and I sell the SLSAs also. They have an SLSA model and then they have the kit you can build as an ELSA. You can build as an amateur built. If it's built as an amateur built, you could build it out to 1,500 gross pounds takeoff weight. This one's set up for 1,320 because it was built as an SLSA.
Now, how many of these aircraft are currently flying in the U.S.?
I know of 13 that are currently flying right now in the U.S. There's probably more. I know there's about 70 some altogether that I know of. I've heard there's more, but what my research has given me, most of them are up in Canada. The original one was built by an instructor to teach flying, and so he built it and put it on floats, and it's still on floats today.
I understand they've done some real long cross countries on these airplanes too.
They've had some fly across from the United States on them. They've flown across Canada. They've got one they flew all the way from Florida up to 100 Mile House in Canada on floats. They've been a very fun little airplane to fly in, very comfortable. It's just a nice cruising little airplane.
So if somebody wanted to get some more information on the airplane, get in touch with you, what's the easiest way to do that?
They can contact me at marin.streeter@gmail.com, or they can get a hold of the factory at Tony@BushCaddy.com, and we'd be happy to help them out.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.